So, there are a number of ideas that I've been exploring inside my mind, obviously, as a way to understand the universe and how, if at all, humans fit in the big picture. The ideas are not what I would say fully scientific. Um, the best way to describe them would be as a work of imagination, using the information that are available. Personally, I believe that imagination is more powerful than knowledge itself, and most of our understanding of nature and science in general uh, is thanks to our ability to imagine things. So, for me at least, I never hesitate to let my imagination go, help me find better answers. It doesn't matter if they're good answers or bad answers. People tell me, and that's how it goes, that science deals with fact. But then, what are facts? If we don't know, especially if we don't know what the facts are, then what are facts in that situation? Also, facts in some cases are simply best estimates or dependent on our existing ability or our existing ability to create knowledge of a subject matter. So that's how I see facts. I'm not in a way trying to undermine science or fact-based science. I have an idea of what facts are. So for me at least, as I see it, the only thing that I know for certain is that there are many things I don't know, and the same probably goes for the human race. Uh, so I'll go back to the ideas that I wanted to talk about, and I know that they're just an idea, and I won't put my dollar if I had to gamble on it. So it's just an idea, and I like to explore them. Now, starting with the universe, what do we know about the universe? Well, NASA's WMAP project, a microwave probe, which was designed to capture scientific data from the oldest light in the universe, estimates the age of the universe to be around 13.75 billion, and it also estimates that the normal atoms, as we know atoms to be, roughly makes up around 4.6% of the known universe, and the rest is dark energy, 72%, and dark matter, 23%. So these are what I would classify, or people would classify them as facts. So we'll take them as facts, and I'm taking them as facts. The data gives us valuable information for sure, but it fails to answer most of my own questions or quest. I know the answers are very difficult to get, and I understand that. And here is a context to what I'm trying to say. For example, a human body, it is made up of 37.2 trillion more or less cells, and we carry hundreds of billions of bacteria. Uh, Now imagine if a bacteria was asking more or less the same question that I'm trying to ask. For example, a bacterium which has an average lifespan of 12 hours roughly. The average human lifespan of 65 plus years for a bacteria will probably feel like infinite or eternity. And maybe the same applies to a human being when dealing on a cosmic scale timeline. Uh, The reality is we are as species new kids on the block, and a transitory species most likely. So therefore, I feel that we will evolve into something else, and humans as we know ourselves today will most likely not exist, as we will evolve into something more advanced. So that's at least my thought process. And an important observation that I would like to make is without cells and bacterium, the existence of a human being will most likely not be possible. And the reason why I'm saying that, I'm trying to get a context. So most likely that's the case for the universe when we are trying to put ourselves in the overall equation. So I wonder if that's true also for the universe. In a way, it is, though. If we didn't exist, then if we as human beings didn't exist, then nothing would exist also for us. So our existence, in a way, makes the universe relevant and important. And all the question that we are asking is important or relevant because we exist. So the question then is, are we playing a role without knowing about it, in the same way as a bacteria probably has no understanding of what role it is playing in a human life? The difference is somehow we have learned to be aware of not only ourselves or our existence, but also of the entire universe and everything the universe is. So who knows? Maybe we will one day understand our role, or probably we will find a role for ourselves, whatever that might be. Be it a species that will not only explore the universe, but also help facilitate the changes. As I see it, there is no permanency in the system that we know as the universe, and the entire design of the system is not based on a permanency. It continues to change. So the universe is changing, and it is very possible that as humans we could change the universe using our imagination. So I certainly won't be around to see it, but it's quite possible that one day in the distant future we may be able to make changes to the universe. And also in the process, find a way to answer the questions like, is the universe infinite, or what is the purpose of our existence, and also what is the purpose, if at all, of the existence of the universe. So all that are the questions that we may also be able to answer in the process. Now, for example, there is a school of thought which believes that, coming back to the WMAP image, so there is a school of thought that believes that the WMAP image could possibly also be a mirror image, which means that maybe we are seeing the same thing, but through a reflection. Now, my own take on the subject matter is, using my own imagination, I tend to describe the universe as a supremely intelligent, self-learning system, which is based around a merger or overlap of virtual reality and whatever is physical reality. Now, here's the context. For example, the thoughts that we all conceive inside our minds are all virtual, but when by enacting our thoughts or emotions or imagination, we make them a physical experience or a possible physical reality. Also, there is the other idea that I'm exploring is, and there is a context to it. Most species sustain themselves and are sustained by a design that enables them to reproduce, or otherwise they'll die off. So, in a way, I am quite tempted to use that as a context and assume that okay, maybe the universe, maybe the universe is also reproducing somehow. And I'm assuming here that the universe is a living system, obviously, and it's also possible that what we have learned to see as a natural phenomena in the universe may have started out as an artificial intelligence of a creation, or I would like to rephrase, may have started out as an artificial creation of an advanced civilization, which somehow died off, and their technological signature somehow got lost. So it is likely that, for example, humans, whatever humans have created on Earth will get lost in few million years if humans were to die off. So I'm using that as a context and as a way of comparison. So there is no harm in assuming that we may be remnants of a very, or whatever we see around us may be partial remnants of a very advanced civilization which is starting out again. The universe will evolve into something else. Now, assuming all this as a possibility, I'm also quite tempted to imagine that we may be experiencing an overlap of some sort in our own host universe, and which is making things different for us to grasp. Various parts of the universe developed at different time zones. For example, the oldest black holes are estimated to be as old as 13 billion years, roughly the same age as the universe itself. I mean, these black holes are basically the architects and also the power stations helping the universe and the helping create helping create galaxies and power themselves. The other thing that I am while I'm talking, I thought I do want to elaborate on is galaxies collide into each other, celestial objects collide into each other. So it's quite possible. This is another idea that maybe universe could have also collided with another universe, creating gravitational waves and big bangs. So that's another possibility. The other possibility that I've talked about was a mirror image. I mean, imagine a human looking at a human body looking at itself in a mirror. I mean, what we see is a reflection of our body, but the image in the mirror is real. And if someone took a picture of us looking in the mirror without being able to account for the mirror, then they could probably assume that they took an image of two identical looking beings. So that's some of the ideas that I've been exploring. The basic idea was and remains is that I'm looking for answers and not shying away or embarrassed of being an idiot, and allow my imagination to explore all the possibility. And this is how we learn, and this is how I've learned.